welcome. In today's video, I am going to be finishing series that I'm in the middle of. There are a few series on my read shelf that I haven't read the last book of in them. Now, this is unusual for me because I like to finish a series all the way through before I even pick up another book, especially another series. So I usually don't have multiple series that I'm in the middle of. However, we came across some unique circumstances and I now have 3 different series that I have not finished. Crazy. So we're gonna rectify that today. The first being the Selection series. I read this one forever ago. I love the series. The first 3 books and the last 2 that follow a different main character, I've read all of them, and I thought that that was the end of it. I thought that was the end of the series until I learned about this, Happily Ever After. This is a compilation of a bunch of novellas, just different people's point of views, all contained into one book. So we're going to be reading this in today's video, and I am so excited. I love the Selection series. I've reread the Selection series. I love it so much. So having something new to read from a beloved series is so exciting. In this one book, we have the story of the prince, the guard, the queen, and the favorite. So 4 different little novellas are in this book, and we're gonna read all 4 of them and finish the Selection series. I'm not only excited to read this for the stories, but this is a beautiful, beautiful book. Like, just flipping through the pages, there are little illustrations all throughout, and they are so cute. It makes me so excited to read this book. Look at that. That is so cool. So very excited for this one. The next series we're going to finish in today's video is the Daughter of the Pirate King trilogy. I think that's what the trilogy is called, just the name of the first book. This was recommended to me by a dear friend and I loved it. I was a little hesitant on the first book, but the second book really got to me and it really just like made me love the series. But when I went to order the last book, it said everywhere. I checked on thrift books, on Amazon, on Walmart, everywhere it said that this book did not come out until a couple months back. And they all said the same date. But looking through this book, sorry, the book is Vengeance of the Pirate Queen. But looking through this book, it says it was published in 2023. So I don't know why I couldn't get it for months after I read the second book, but we finally have it. And because there was such a long time between me reading the second and getting the third, I started reading things in between, and now I just haven't finished the series. So I'm really excited to read this one, finish the series. This one looks like it follows a different main character. I know nothing about this book. I haven't even read the back. So I'm kind of intrigued how that's gonna happen because I thought all 3 books followed the same main character and the first 2 did. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with this one, but very excited. And last but certainly not least, we have Fearful by Lauren Roberts. This one actually just came out, like 2 weeks ago just came out. And this is the last novella in, I mean, technically it's the Powerless Trilogy, but then there are 2 novellas. We have Powerful and Fearful. So I'm finally going to be reading Fearful. It's little, it's short, and it is Kit's point of view, I believe. And can I just say something real fast? I am so frustrated with this copy because, let me show you. This is Powerless, the first in the series. This is Powerful, the novella that goes along with Powerless. It's a novella, so it's a shorter book, but it's also shorter height-wise, which bothered me, but it's fine. It is what it is. But then Fearful is the same size as the main books, which is what I wanted this to be originally, but it wasn't. So I expected this to match the other novella, and now it just looks stupid on my shelves. I don't know if that's just because of the copy of Powerful that I got. I don't know if other ones are like Fearful and they're taller, but it bothers me that they're different. So those were the 3 books I'm going to be reading in today's video and the reason behind me not finishing the series until now. And I think looking at them, I'm going to read them in the order I showed them to you. So today I'm going to start Happily Ever After by Kiara Cass. I just read a really heavy, triggering book. So I need something super light. I don't want to read Fearful. Not yet, because I know that that's going to be dark and traumatic and and a lot for me. And then I have no clue what to expect from Vengeance of the Pirate Queen. So we're going to start with something I know what to expect. I'm excited to read. Hopefully they're fluffier stories, which is exactly what I want right now. I have a friend coming over in about an hour, and she comes over and we just kind of read together. So, wait, there's more than 4 books in here. On the back it says we get The Prince, the Guard, the Queen, and the Favorite. But when you're looking at the contents, it says we get the Queen, the Prince, the Guard, the Favorite, Celeste, the Maid, and After the One. So that's 7 different sections. 7 different books, if you will. I will update you after I finish The Queen. Hello, it is the next day. I did not read yesterday. My friend texted me and she's like, I can't come over today. I have XYZ to do. I'm like, no worries. We'll meet again on Monday. So I didn't read either. But I'm going to read today. That is my only goal, is to read. I've got my book here, I've got some tea and my water, I've got an ambiance and a candle going over there, I've got my lights. We are set to read, and my goal is to read 2 little novellas. I want to get through The Queen and The Prince today. That's my goal. So about 170 pages, which is totally doable since that's all I want to do today, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to eat this book up. The AC turned on, so I'm gonna go and read. See you later. It is about 9 o'clock. I'm just about to jump in the shower, but I just finished The Queen's book. We're on to The Prince now, which I am so excited for, but a little nervous because I know of his story a lot more than I knew of Amberly's, and he went through a lot. So I don't know how much of that is going to be in his book, so a little nervous. But to go back to The Queen, loved her in the selection books. Like, she was my favorite character. I loved Marley too. Those 2 were like my favorite characters, but the Queen was so kind and graceful and soft, and I feel like that wasn't very well portrayed in this book. Like, she still resembled the Queen a little bit, the Queen that I know, and of course this is 20 years earlier, but I just feel like it didn't match. Like, I could see what Kiara was trying to do with the story, but I didn't like it. I feel like she would be more of how she is in the selection books than she was in this book. I don't know if that makes sense. I was gonna give you some examples of what I mean, but I feel like that would be kind of spoilers, so I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, I also am trying to decide if on Goodreads I'm going to count this as reading 1 book, because I know on Goodreads there are separate books for each novella. So should I give a rating for every single novella and upload that to my Goodreads? I don't even know what I would give The Queen as a star rating. Probably a 3-star, because it wasn't the best thing I ever read. I mean, it's a novella. However, there are novellas that are absolutely stunning and amazing, so I don't know. But it was less than 100 pages, and I feel like the main character was not portrayed as well as I would have hoped. So I think 3 stars is a pretty good rating for The Queen's book. There you go. I just rated it. I'll put it on my Goodreads now. And then I will be flying through my yearly goals. I am back from showering and on a different couch. And I'm ready to read. I actually have started The Prince. I'm 3 chapters in. And I'm really nervous because it is not giving what I wanted it to give. and neither did the Queen. So I'm nervous that this is gonna be a theme and none of them are gonna be what I want them to be, and they're all gonna be disappointments. As much as I love that there are illustrations in here, this is not Prince Maxon. Not at all. But like, no. That is not what he looks like at all. It's like that trend that's going around right now on Book Talk, where it's like the author says he pulled his hair into a man bun, and then the reader was like, no, he didn't, but thanks for the suggestion. Like, that's how I feel about this. Like, this is what the author thinks Maxon looks like, and I'm like, he doesn't look like that, but thank you for the suggestion. I'm gonna go on thinking of him looking quite differently. I believe I only have about 20-ish pages left of the prince's story. I'm so confused because it is going at the same pace as the selection series, like the main books in that series. And we've only had 2 chapters with America in them, and then his book is almost over. Like, I'm confused. It feels like it's going at a pace of a 300-page book, but it's only 100 pages, if that, you know? I'm just disappointed so far in everything I've read in this book. I just read the last page of The Prince, and I cannot believe that's it. That's all she gave us. That was awful. First of all, the character that she wrote in this little novella was very different than the prince I thought I knew. And why in the world would it end right there? Why did she write it like that? She could have, okay, not that I'm a writer or anything, but I think if she didn't dwell so much in the beginning, his like backstory, I guess, and how he was feeling about this selection happening, and the whole weird thing with the French girl, like, that just didn't need to happen. Like, I understand why she followed basically chapter by chapter of the first selection book, at least for the first like 7 chapters of that book, but I feel like if she would have picked and chosen better chapters and sort of had fewer of the in-between chapters, we could have gotten so much more of Maxon's actual feelings for America, but we didn't get any of it. We got them as friends, and we didn't get any of him falling for her or anything. I'm so disappointed by that. I had to take a little bit of a break after reading The Prince because I was so disappointed in the story, like even more so than The Queen. I rated this novella 1 star because it didn't give me anything, and what it did give me, I didn't want. So I hated that. I gave it 1 star on Goodreads and we're done with that. But now I am so like distraught for the rest of this book because I didn't like the first 2 novellas. So I'm so nervous. I was so excited because I really wanted to get into the heads of these people. But now that I'm in their heads, like, they're not at all the people I thought they were, or she's changed them too much. I don't know. And I don't want to read the others because the people I've gotten stories from thus far, the Queen and the Prince, I love those characters and I have them so ingrained into my mind. Like, I know them personally is how it feels, but now reading their books, I feel like I don't know them. And when I was reading Maxon's book, the Queen obviously had quite a role in that book, and she was changed for me because I read her novella and now I'm reading her differently than I did when I read the selection series, and I hate that, and I don't want that to happen for Marley especially. Like, I want all these people to stay who I know them to be, but now I'm so scared because those 2 books sucked. I don't know if I'm gonna read any more today because I'm a little scared after that, but I will let you know when I start the Guard Aspen story. I don't even like Aspen, so maybe this can make me like him more because I think he's the worst. So maybe that'll be good. It's about 7 o'clock. I'm gonna start the Guard. I'm so nervous after the first 2, but I took the rest of the day to nap, really. So I'm ready to start up again. Hello, a little change of scenery. Romeo's out there doing some dishes, so I thought for the sake of noise, I would give you my update in here. I just finished the Guard. we're on to the favorite, Marley's story. And I'll probably try to read that today. No promises. The Guard was pretty good. Did it change my opinion of Aspen? No. I didn't really like Aspen in any of the books. There were a few things that I was like, oh, he is kind of sweet. But for the most part, I didn't care for him that much. Before every section, there's like a little introduction to like what the author was hoping to portray. And for Aspen's story, she wanted to portray the good side of Aspen that not many of her readers see, because I think it's pretty common for everyone to be Team Maxon. And I did see a lot more good of Aspen in this book, but I think the same thing still applies that I think of him in the other books. He's a fine human being. He's great, he's kind, charming, all the good things, but when he is with America, he is not his best self. It turns him into this kind of obsessed monster who all of his internal dialogue and even the things he says to America is so unfairly negative toward the prince, just because that's his competition. And so he turns into this needy, jealous, clingy guy. And that's not who he is. That's not who he is with anyone else. And he's not that way with anyone else, with the maids, with the other guards. He's a great guy until it comes to America. That's what I thought in the original books. That's what I read in this book. It's all the same. But anyway, I think for Aspen's story, I liked it more than Maxon's because Aspen was very much true to himself and who he is in the original books. But I think I like it less than the Queen's book because at least that was something new and this didn't give me anything. I just wish we got more information that we didn't already know. Because even the things that like weren't said in the first books were inferred. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna rate this one 2 stars, kind of in the middle of the prince and the queen, but still not very good. I'm so disappointed by this book. I was so excited and it just hasn't been meeting any of my expectations. And I'm so scared to read Marley's book. But at least this, I think we're gonna get a lot more of a story that we don't get a lot of in the original books. Anyway, I think I'm gonna start this right now, maybe finish it tonight, but I don't know how long it is. There's only like less than 150 pages left, and there are still technically 3 novellas. Well, technically 2 novellas and all of the extra stuff that is not technically a novella. So I don't know how they're gonna do all 3 of those things. I just don't have high hopes. I think I'm gonna be disappointed again. Hello again. I just finished Marley's story. We're on to Celeste. I'm probably not gonna read that tonight. It's like 10 o'clock. I am done for today, but I got through a large majority of the book. 323 pages today. Marley's story was so cute. I loved it. It was basically everything that I was wanting out of her story. Her character didn't change at all, which is amazing. Miracle, apparently. I love her in her novella as much as I love her in the original books. And her sweet love story, oh, it had me grinning ear to ear the whole time I was reading it. There were some hard things to read about, but it was just so sweet the whole time these horrible things were happening to her. She was like, this is a small price to pay for being with the love of my life and for finding my soulmate. Even if I die today, like it would have been worth it to just spend the small amount of time that I had with the person I love. Oh, it was so sweet and so cute. I loved it. Best novella by far. I'm gonna rate it 4 stars, but I absolutely loved it. It was everything I wanted, and I'm so happy, especially after the last 3 that I read that were kind of disappointing. I'm so glad we ended the night on a good one. I was able to read a lot of this book very quickly, like I predicted. It just also was not my favorite thing in the world, which is fine. it happens. I'm gonna go to bed, but I will see you all bright and early tomorrow to probably finish this book. Good morning. It is the next day. I was genuinely expecting Celeste to, at least in her mind, be a lot more self-conscious, and that's why she acted the way that she acted. It's not even true. From her internal dialogue, all I can tell is she's rude and mean and self-absorbed. She even is saying horrible things about her own mother. Like, not only the girls that she's competing with and obviously doesn't like, but her mother and her maid, and I can't remember who else she said, but she talked about multiple people in disgusting ways. And I know I only get 3 chapters of Celeste, but I don't see how I could like her. Not even half an hour later, and I finished Celeste's chapters. I feel like that totally wasn't necessary at all. I feel like it didn't give me anything, which I know is what I've been saying about every one of these. But that one specifically, like, it was 3 chapters. The first one, she was more awful than I thought she actually was. And then the second chapter was her, like, realizing that she had gone down a path she didn't want to go to, and then the last chapter was her trying to make amends, I guess. And it was just so fast, and we just got so little of any story or growth that I did not care, and it was boring, and I don't even know why it was a thing. The Maid. The last novella in this book, and then there's a little bit more like epilogue type things, I believe. And I honestly don't even know which maid this story is for, so this will be interesting. I'm so sad. This has been disappointment after disappointment. I just finished The Maid. It was like a chapter long, maybe 2, but I think it was only 1 chapter long. And it was really sweet, the things that were happening within the little novella, but we just jumped into this deep relationship that the maid had without any information on the feelings, the progression, anything. We started the book and there was this argument, fight going on between the 2 characters, and then they made up. That was literally it. Oh, okay. Now I have After the One, and then I am completely done with this book. Oh, and I rated that one, that little novella, 2 stars. I just did the math, and it was literally 10 pages. The Maid was 10 pages long. That's it. That's all we got. Ugh. I need to be done with this book. I just finished reading Happily Ever After. Not much to say on the last little bit of this book. Wow, that was extremely disappointing. To say the least. I didn't enjoy a majority of the stories in here. I thought it was boring. I thought it didn't give us anything. I was so disappointed because I expected so much. And I'm really glad I read this book before 1,000 Heartbeats, because that is the last book I have of Kiara Cass's. And if this was the last thing I read of hers, I would have been so upset. But yeah, that was awful. I'll probably give the entire collection of stories maybe like 2 stars. And I am excited to go on to Vengeance of the Pirate Queen, because hopefully this will be better. But I guess only time will tell. We will see. I'm like scared now because I really expected so much from this book that now I'm so nervous about all the books that I'm excited to read. I feel like they aren't gonna live up to the expectations. Hello, good morning. It has been a couple of days. I actually don't remember when we last spoke. I don't remember if I have given any thoughts on this book so far, and I am almost halfway through. This book follows one of the side characters in the first 2 books of this series, Serinda, and she is an assassin. That is her role on the ship. And in this book, she is tasked with being the captain of her own ship to go find some missing people, which is not what she does. She's like, I don't know how to be a captain. I don't know how to rescue people. I know how to kill people. That's what my job is. That's what I'm good at. It's what I know how to do. So this whole book, she's trying to find her footing and figure out how to be a captain and do this very new thing for her. Meanwhile, there is this man. His name is Kieran, and I cannot get a read on this man. Like, I cannot figure him out. He's this big, burly pirate, but he is also the most thoughtful person. He's very observant and he sees Serinda like no one else can. He's constantly saying things that Serinda is thinking, and he's very kind to Rosalind, I believe is her name. There's this little girl aboard and he's very kind to her, and he's just a super thoughtful guy, but he's also very straightforward and blunt with Serinda. So that's sort of what the main premise of this book is. We're following Serinda, but then there's Kieran, who is challenging her a bit because she's not used to being seen. She's an assassin. She's used to be hiding in the shadows. The chapters are pretty long in this book, but I just read chapter 12 and craziness just unfolded. Like, I thought I knew where this book was going. I wasn't sure exactly how they were going to complete their mission, but like, I didn't think there would be a crazy plot twist like what just happened. But I don't know what to even think about that. What just happened. Like, I am so insanely confused. I have no clue what's going on. It has intrigued me and stopped me in my tracks more than maybe any plot twist I've ever read. Like, I am so insanely enveloped into this book, so I might just finish it today. I have nothing on my to-do list other than take an everything shower and read. I haven't updated y'all on this book because it's just been a bunch of things that I can't really tell you about since they're big spoilers, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It has taken me a couple days to get through a majority of this book because of personal things and my mental health and you know the drill, but I'm really enjoying it. And I just had a thought that I wanted to share with y'all because I have a type. I like the same guys in books. I like the golden retriever, sunshine, gentlemanly type. And the love interest in this book is not really that type. Like, he's not grumpy either. I don't know, I can't even describe him very well because I haven't seen this type of person a lot in books. If ever, I think this might be my first, but I'm really liking him. And I will say this book is very much a slow burn on the romance. The romance isn't a big plot of this book, so it's very, very slow burn, but I'm really enjoying it. And I typically don't like slow burns, but this is done in a really tasteful way. And I think I like the slow burn because of the character that we have. He's very patient. I think this book is a he fell first sort of book, but even though he fell first, he's not actively pursuing her. Like, if anything, he fell for her, and so he wants to be her friend. If nothing else, he just wants to be in her life, and he just wants to be a comfort for her when she has never had comfort in her life before, or very rarely has had comfort. I mean, she's an assassin, and she's been an assassin since she was like 8 years old. She's sort of the grumpy, broody, I don't need anyone in my life because I'm enough and I'm just doing what I can to get through life sort of person. And he is very calm and patient and is like, okay, you do what you do, but I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna support you whether you like it or not. And you don't have to acknowledge me, you don't even have to like me, but I'm going to be here because I'm in love with you. And the plot twists in this book have been crazy. Like, I don't know where we're gonna go from here or how this is going to fix itself. We're about 100 pages from the end and I'm sad. This is all I'm gonna do today. I just finished Vengeance of the Pirate Queen. It was so good. The ending, it was so good. It was such a feel-good book. I wasn't really expecting that, because it's a book about pirates. But it was so sweet. I'm debating between a 4 and a 5-star rating for this book. I think it'll be 4 just because I'm on the edge about it, so I'll probably go lower rather than higher. But it was so good. If I gave half ratings, it would probably be a 4.5. I can't even tell you any of the things that I want to tell you about this book, but it was so good. And the last line, literally the last sentence of this book had me on the verge of tears. I was like, no, So cute. And throughout the whole thing, I feel like this healed my inner child. She went through some trauma while she was a child, and it shaped her life, and she's going through these beliefs of I'm not worthy of anything, so I'm gonna devote my life to a good cause sort of vibes. And throughout the book, she's learning that her past does not define her, and it's the help of the love interest that gets her believing in herself. And it was just so good. And there were so many lines that I wanted to tell you guys, but I didn't know if it was a spoiler, so I didn't. And I should have annotated this book because it was so good. And there are so many little things that I'm thinking of even now after I've just finished the book that I want to go back and highlight. I really, really liked this book. Now, last but not least, I will be starting Fearful. This is gonna be quick, easy, fun, 200 pages. I already know the story that I'm going to be reading because I believe that this is just Kit's point of view of the last book. So should be pretty good. It also is gonna be really difficult to read, like I know that, and I have been preparing for it, so hopefully it'll be fine. I was about to say hopefully I'm in the mood to read it. I'm not in the mood to read it, but I left it for last, so now we have to. I always love the dedications in Lauren Roberts' book. So this one says, "To those fearful of falling, in love or otherwise, you are braver than you know. Prologue, Mara." Who the crap is Mara? Okay, so it goes back and forth between Kit and Mara. Alara? It might be Alara. Little fancy, I don't know. I also surprisingly have seen nothing about this book. When Fearless came out, the world was going wild. Everyone on my TikTok, everyone on my YouTube was reading Fearless. But I haven't seen a single thing since this book came out. Whether people like it, whether people have read it. So I know nothing, which is great because when I was reading the Powerless series, I had way too many spoilers going into it because I had just seen so many people reading it. So, I mean, it's a good thing I haven't seen anything, but also, is it? But if people hated the book, I would also be seeing things about the people hating the book. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm excited and terrified all at the same time. And I'm also hoping to read this in one sitting like I did Powerful. Hello. It has been a couple more days. I'm sorry I haven't been updating. I'm a little more than halfway through, about 90 pages left, and I am intending to finish this book today. I figured out who Mara was, and it is very interesting. In the whole Powerless series, death has always been referred to as a person, like they're talking about death as if it's a person, which intrigued me for sure. And then, starting this book, Mara is Death. We get Death's point of view of this book, which is so cool. And she's just curious about human life, and she came to Ilya and now she's watching like 3 different people really is like her focus, and she's just like observing them and giving us her thoughts on how they interact with each other. It's really interesting. I'm loving that. And then obviously this is Kit's book, so we get his perspective as well. I feel like that's all I can say without giving spoilers because this is the last book in the series, so I can't say much, and that's why I haven't really been updating. The pacing of this is really weird for me. We're going very slowly. Like, I've got 90 pages left. I'm over halfway through this book, but I feel like we're only maybe halfway through where the 3rd book would be at this point. I don't even know what I'm saying. It just has felt weird to me. Like, it feels like we're going really slowly. I also feel conflicted with Kit. Like, I can't tell. Nope, I don't know how to say that without giving spoilers, so never mind. I'm conflicted with Kit and I'm enjoying reading it. Although I've been reading it really slowly because I haven't really been interested. And I knew that would be the case because reading book 3, I'm like, I know Kit's book is coming, but I don't care what he's up to currently. But Death's point of view, Mara's point of view, is why I'm excited to read. Like, if this was just Kit's point of view, I would be struggling so much with this book, but I really like Death. She's a really cool character and I like her input on everything that's happening. I love Lauren Roberts' writing, which has been really nice to read something from her again, because it's just so beautiful the way that she describes feelings and emotions. I really love that. So that's been really fun. I think that's all from me today. So I don't know what just happened. I just finished this book. I'm so confused. That was crazy. I don't think I understand the last 10 pages of this book. I'm so confused. There was so much happening and I can't tell you any of it. But I'm very confused. I feel like I'm gonna have to look up videos explaining the end of this book because what the crap just happened. And it ended in a way where there can be more books in this series, which I hate. I really thought this would be the end of it, and maybe it is. But what the crap was that? What the crap? The pacing now makes sense. Having finished the book, I totally understand the pacing and why it was like weird, and I really like how she did that. Everything took a turn for the worse, and I am so confused. But that was it. That was fearful. I think I'll give this book 3 stars. I don't even know how to express my thoughts right now. That's my rating on the book. Those are a few thoughts on the book. And with that, we have completed all of the series that I am in the middle of. I have no pending series. Thank you so much for watching. I had lots of fun reading these books, and I hope you enjoyed being with me while I read them, because I definitely need the emotional support, especially after that last book. I need to go process now, but I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see y'all soon. And is there another love interest? I'm so confused.